All right, a couple years ago, I went to a McDonald's and saw a video display that looks something like this with a coffee cup and a cascading coffee inside. So didn't look exactly like this, but you get the idea. We're gonna use a template and then put a transparent pixels in the middle and add a logo on top and a video underneath and make an animated GIF. So let's get the 3 files downloaded. I got the number 1 coffee cup .psdt here on my desktop, the number 2 cascading coffee video, and the number 3 McCafe logo that I got from Google Images. So let's take a look at the coffee cup first, then we'll create a new document in Photoshop to bring everything into. All right, so I'm going to go to Window, Workspace, Essentials, Reset Essentials so that my screen looks like yours. I'm going to collapse Properties, collapse Color so I can see my thumbnails, and I'm going to go to View and Guides and Clear Guides because I got some wild guides going on. Clear Guides. Okay, so the idea is that you'd bring your logo in, you go like this, and then you double click on the smart object, and some text layers might need to be updated. No, we're not going to update them because we're not going to use a text. So that opens the PSDT file into a .psd. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball off the design, and maybe we want a background layer. Does it let us keep a... You don't need to do this. This is more like FYI. Okay, right. So I'm going to option click to turn all the text off. And then what I could do is I could bring my McCafe logo in. It's not sized correctly, but just to give you an idea. So hit X to save your changes. And then what that does is, right, it puts your logo on the cup. But we want transparent pixels in here, so we don't really care about this smart object. But let's twirl open the group of editable layers here. And what we want to do is we want to get the marching ants around the portion of the cup that we want transparent pixels in. So I'm going to command click, and on this second one, looks like it has a name. Let's see, design smart object. I guess I can get a little more room in here. Okay. All right, so the second one, and then I am going to, I want to delete, let's see, I might need to double click. Let's see what happens if I hit delete backspace. Could not complete your request because smart object is not directly editable. Okay, so it thinks because this is selected, I'm trying to delete this top one. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to deselect, and I want to stamp a merge visible with the option keyboard shortcut to the very top here. So we don't really need this layer, so just for confusion's sake, we're done with it. That's just a copy of another layer that's buried in here somewhere else. So I am going to hit Command Shift Option with my left hand, and then E to stamp everything to the top that's visible. And then I'm going to eyeball off everything else, and I'm going to command click again for real, and now hit delete. And it looks like my background was left on when I tried to eyeball it off because I only eyeballed off this group. And so there we go. We got transparent pixels. Looks good. I'm going to hit deselect, and I'm going to do file save just in case I crash. File save as, and desktop, call this your, I don't know, cup transparent middle. Okay, so we got that. Now we need to get a new tab or a new Photoshop document that we can bring the coffee cup into. So I'm going to do File, New, and I want 1080p. Let's go to Video Settings, and I actually want to invert this. So I'm going to go, instead of 1920 by 1080, I'm going to go invert these. So we can call this our like week 7 coffee example. And so I'm going to go 1080 by 1920. And background doesn't matter. Square pixels are good. Create. Okay, so this is going to be like our working document now that we bring other files into. So let's get the coffee cup in there. You could Command C layer 4 and then come over to the tab you just created, Command V to edit copy. And it's too big, right? So Photoshop is saying this, what you just pasted in is too big. So you want to hit Command T or go Edit Free Transform. Edit Free Transform, Command T. And then that brings up the bounding box. And you probably want to make sure you have the chain link constraint proportions turned on so that you don't distort your coffee cup. But let's see if I can get it on there. All right, so looking pretty good there. If I drag it up now. All right, so now actually I'm going to go a little more because we want room for the graphic at the top. And now bring it down about there. So now we got room for the logo. We can so to apply your transformation, you hit check or enter or switch to the move tool. Actually, I think it's here's return. Yeah, return. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command 0 to zoom back in. And we don't need this background layer, so just to get rid of it. So we got our transparent pixels. Let's get our logo in at the top here. All right, so drag it in and resize it. Get it kind of centered. And then if you hold Option and Shift and drag in from a corner, actually you don't need to hold Shift, just Option. That brings it in. How about there? Okay, enter. And I think in my example, I have like a stroke around the edge here. So if we want to try to get that, we could come to layer 1. It's kind of the idea of integrating the design where you match the color from the graphic you just brought into the cup so it looks like it was done, I don't know, as one continuous design or as one whole design, not two separate pieces. So, all right, so I want to come down here to the FX menu and add stroke. And then I want to set the color to the eyedropper, right? So when I come, I could pick like a red, but I want to get it to be this McCafe brown red color. And that worked out perfect for me. 13 pixels, looks good. Position outside, you can play with the settings. You can add some glows and whatever you want to add, but I think that looks good. And then we just gotta get our cascading coffee in. So let's switch to the window workspace motion. And I'm gonna hit Command 0, and then I'm gonna create a video timeline. And I'm going to bring in the video MOV, which did not work. So, oh, it did. It's just too small. So I'm gonna hit Command minus now. And I'm also gonna drag it down here in the layers panel to the bottom of the stacking order. So the blue lines are highlighted at the very bottom. And so now you can see it's underneath inside the transparent pixels. Or being covered up by the layers on top, but let's see here. So Command T, and then I'm gonna shift, I wanna use that right-hand side there. So I wanna kind of, you could have the logo, that's fine, but if you come over there, something like that I think looks good. So, all right, enter to apply or check or switch to the move tool. And then Command 0 and hit spacebar to check it out. Looks good, a little blurry, but let's see how it looks when we render it. So we only need a couple seconds of this. If you use your little mountains, let's see, right, like this video clip is too long, all right? So so I guess I can come over here and scissor and then delete the second piece and just drag in till it snaps. But you want to make it as short as possible 5 seconds is good. I could bring everything down here to like 2 seconds though, or 3 seconds, and it would be, I don't know, 3/5 of the size. All right, so let's get the zoom a little better. And then we do the trick, the looping trick, right? Where we don't want to glitch, and the glitch occurs between the end and the beginning. So we want to make this the glitch edit point, and we can add a transition crossfade to smooth it out. So make sure you got the white, the layer, the cascading coffee video layer selected, outlined, and then scissor cut. Click off to the side to deselect in the gray space. Then you want copy at the beginning and this original file at the end. So I'm going to drag this one to the beginnings and then move this one to the end. Make sure it's kind of snapping in place there. And then we bring in our crossfade. And I'm going to shorten it down just so it's not that noticeable. Just kind of a really... And then let's just trim this and export it. So maybe save, Command S. Okay. And now we want to... Usually we'd render a video, and you could render a video and then convert it to a GIF online if you Google like MP4 to GIF converter. But let's try File. We can do it within Photoshop. So File, Export, save for Web Legacy. So 5 years ago, this is how we used to export Photoshop files before we got Export As and other options. And this option gives you a GIF. All right, and it looks like it's 14 megabytes, and we don't need a GIF this big, so let's drop it down to, I don't know, 40%, and then click off and let it reanalyze. Or hit Tab, and there we go. Okay, so I got 256 colors, which is good, as many as possible. Looping forever, and it's down to 4 megabytes. So I'm gonna hit save and put it on my desktop. Desktop looks good, save. Minimize Photoshop. And drop it on the browser. Looks good. A little blurry, but I think it's just because we stretched out or we upsampled that video so to not have the watermark visible. But I think most people, if they look at it at McDonald's really quick, they're not going to really notice. Or I guess we're just going to see this on the web or on a phone. So hit reply here and then add an image, a photo. Looks like a few students got something submitted already before I had my video, but oops, you want the photo one, not the upload image, and a GIF, and submit. And check out Adobe Stock. There's all these product mockup templates from hats to t-shirts to... Uh-oh, it's going for a second one here. Once enough. Okay. All right, looks good. Just to double check. There we go. All right, I will see you next week.